So here we're running with Natalie. She's in Central Park. She's wearing her sneakers. Let's see her form. So let's get her into pose. So she's into pose position right there. She has a pretty straight back. She has a nice lean coming from the ankle. You can see her back. She's not bending over at the hips. Looks pretty good. Let's see what she does next. Foot is nice, leg is straight. We don't want to see that. We want to see that knee bending. See, now it's starting to bend. A little bit late though. She's landing. Actually, it's not too bad. Now she is weighted. Her foot is almost under her hips. Actually looks pretty good. She's back into pose, so I'd say about a frame and a half out of pose. Right there, that's pretty good. What we want to see, her hips landing directly above the ball of her foot when the ball of her foot has weight on it. So it looks pretty good. Her back is nice and straight. I like it. Looks pretty good. Let's check her out now barefoot. Again, she's in Central Park. She's cruising right along on the pavement, and she's got a big old smile on her face. She's in pose right here. You can see her back's nice and straight. She has the weight on the ball of her foot. Hip is almost underneath. The foot is almost underneath the hip. Looks pretty good. She wants to be pulling this right foot straight up under her hip. She leaves it on the ground a little bit long. It's a little bit straight. She wants that knee to be bending a little bit sooner. And as we can see, her foot is almost on the ground. Boom. So she has weight on that foot right there. Her foot is almost in pose. Boom, it's in pose. That actually looks really good. Good job, Natalie. Let's see it one more time. Bending this leg, pulling, so she's going to be pulling this foot straight up under her hip a little bit sooner. She works on that pull a little bit sooner. She'd be even better, a little bit more efficient. So, boom, she lands. That knee is slightly bent. Her foot is coming forward, almost under her hip. If she was frozen right here, would she be falling backwards or forwards? Looks like maybe backwards a tiny bit, but you know what? This is actually really good. Now she's back in pose. Looks perfect. Back is nice and straight. Foot is basically underneath the hip. She's maybe like a half frame out of pose. Looks really good, Natalie. Let's check it out. Now on grass, she's going to be chugging right along, nice and fast. She's sprinting. She's cruising. The arms are pumping, and boom. So she has the weight on the ball of her foot. Her foot is still coming forward. If she was frozen right now, is she falling? She might be falling backwards right about here. She wants to be have her GCM, general center of mass, above the ball of her foot right here when this foot is on the ground. So she's a little bit late. So basically, it initiates a braking motion. It's not nearly as bad as one landing on your heel, so she shouldn't worry about it too much. So basically, she's in pose right here. Back is nice and straight. She's not bending over at the waist. Let's see her pull this foot straight up under her hip. She's kind of leaving that leg out long. She wants to be bending that knee even sooner. You can see her toes are almost still on the ground. If this foot is all the way back here, her other leg is going to counterbalance by being well in front of her body. When that happens, it's going to initiate a braking motion when this foot lands. So let's see what happens. So boom, her foot is on the ground. Now, if she was, it's not bad, but if she was frozen like this, she'd be falling backwards. As you can see, her weight, her GCM, her hips, general center mass, is behind the ball of her foot. So she actually looked better when she was on pavement. Pavement has a little bit more feedback than the grass. You could get away with a lot more on grass. You won't feel your errors as much. Yeah, it's still not bad at all. She's not landing on her heel, which is great. But yeah, I mean, if she wants to work on her form a little bit more, try pulling this foot up a little bit sooner. You can see her leg stays nice and straight. Well, not nice and straight, but it stays straight. She wants that knee to be bending and coming forward a little bit sooner. As you can see, her foot is basically on the ground here, and it's her foot, her other foot, I guess her right foot, still behind her hips. So she wants that foot to be directly under the hips. Not bad, Natalie, not bad at all. Pretty good